up with it later. All right, not too many questions came through. Some were not quite general, so I've answered individually. Sometimes I answer a question with a question, or I ask you to ask a question. Yeah, you need to ask a question. You need to give me working, otherwise I can't really help. All right, the one question that did come through, are we writing even if there's load shedding? The answer is no. Yeah, the university hasn't given you anything to write if there's load shedding. I'm hoping though that there won't be load shedding on Thursday. Sounded like it was going to improve by tomorrow morning, but we'll play it by ear. I may just shift the test an hour later, but that's dependent on whether there are objections. So you've got to tell me if there's another lecture or test after the defined HV period. All right, is that okay? A thumbs up will do.
Yes, sir, that's fine.
All right. Right. So there are a couple of past exams and questions that you can have a look at for this test. So there's only really 2 questions, numerical questions that I can ask. I'm not going to look at the surge arrestor equation where you look at the current. It's never worked out for me. But question 3 of 2015, question 3, and question 5. All right. So it gives you a number of values, and it's really just applying the equations. One thing to be careful of, and I keep on saying this, be careful not to copy all of those word for word. Maybe just try and write it in your own words, so it's your own understanding. The one that everybody always gets wrong is that one. So make sure you understand that rather than just writing it down. Yeah. Yeah, just make sure you understand that. Some people have copied this word for word, even though the results indicate something different. All right, and then 2017 is another 2. Should be another 2. There it is. Should be 3 that you can try. Sorry, not 2. So there's shielding, this back flashover, and then there's the surge arrestor ones. So I'll just go through the sample test now and we can look at that. All right, cool. So when we look at these equations, try and stick to what was done in the examples in the notes. So the units are particularly important. So stick to what's done, because these formulae are empirical, a lot of them. So that 10 could have units that we don't know about. So just stick to what they've done and the units will come out correctly. Right, so there's only a few equations that you need to apply. You don't need to memorize this. You should have this on Moodle already. All right, so the test itself, So some of these are variables. So if we look at, oh man. Sorry, I didn't mean to close that formula sheet. If we look at this first equation, determine the total number of strikes to the 100-kilometer transmission line, where there are 2 shield wires. They have a height of 13.5 meters and a separation distance of 9 meters if the ground flash density is 3.8 strikes per square kilometer per year. Right, so that's the equation here. H is the height, B is the separation, and NG is the strikes per square kilometer per year. So we can already see a gremlin there. All right, just excuse me for 2 minutes. Right, so we can put in an answer there. Determine the percentage of strikes of 40 kiloamps and above. That's our equation. Yeah, that's our equation here, the probability. So just go back and check your notes that you get the definition correct. Right, so let's say it's 40%. So this is the back flashover equation where lightning strikes the column. Right, so you have to work through what the back flashover means. There's the reflection coefficient, etc., and you can work out the voltage. Right, I'm not going to worry about that one. You can show some working and upload a file. I try to limit the number of files to upload. I just want to finish that other one first, and then we can go back. Right, so there is a mark on the units. It should be set so that if you say 500,000 volts, it'll come out correctly. It should also be set that if you say 0.5 megavolts, that it comes out correct. Right, and that's applicable to all of them. Okay, right. Let's just go back and redo the quiz. Right, where it's an overvoltage occurring, just give me 2 minutes. Somebody's about to switch the electricity off here.
Right, can you all hear me again?
Yes, you can.
All right, sorry about that. Somebody just switched off electricity here. So I had to swap to the laptop. All right, I'm going to go back to the quiz. And share my screen. All right, so the same with the surge arrestor question. A number of those values are actually variables, but some of them are set up. So the variables in this instance are the steepness, the distance between the arrestor and transformer, and the residual voltage of the surge arrestor. Right. Again, I'll have to try and set this up correctly, but I can see another gremlin. That voltage is not, it needs to be the same in both. But let's go on. Right, so based on those two questions, you need to determine if the transformer is protected or not, and what would need to be done to protect it. So you're all likely to have different distances. So some of you'll have a transformer that is protected, some of you will have one that's not. You need to tell me why it's not protected. Is the residual voltage too low? Is it too high? Is the distance too far? Etc. Right, and then there's, you can see there again, the units will be set up to make sure that you can either use volts, kilovolts, megavolts, meters or kilometers. It'll be set up correctly for that. The last part, I'm just going to show you here, because it's up to you to go through the course notes and make sure that you understand the theory. But there are a number of multiple choice questions. So you need to go through the notes yourself and understand the theory, so that you can answer these questions. So let's just take one, basic insulation level. Right. Is it really that? I don't know yet. Right, let's just finish that. Right, you can see there that it doesn't give me the answers. All right. Okay. Yeah, you'll have to go through the notes and just check that you're getting the right things. I haven't answered correctly here, so don't copy this if you go through the video again. Don't go through the video during the test either. All right. Again, there weren't too many questions that came through. I don't think you're going to have any trouble with this test whatsoever. it'll likely be the 2 questions that I've uploaded in the sample test, and then the third question would be in the main assignment later on. Okay, so if there's no further questions now, we'll just close this, and then I'll inform you if there are any problems with load shedding. Yeah, there's a question there. You can go ahead. You're on mute. You can go ahead.
Sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also do have a question. I saw that when you were showing us your sample quiz, you included units on the answers. So does that mean if I'm answering a question and just insert a value without the units, my answer would be wrong?
Not wrong, but the system is set up to automatically take away a mark if you don't put the units.
Oh,
So it should be set up to accept volts, kilovolts, megavolts,
okay.
and it'll automatically calculate whether it's correct. But I also do have the ability to go in afterwards and just check that it did do the right thing.
Okay. And does spacing have an effect on that? Maybe if I insert a space before the units, or there shouldn't be no spaces?
I don't think spacing has an effect.
Okay.
Tombisi?
Yes, I wanted to ask about the practical. Now, on your email, you said we should rebook since we missed our break last week. So now the option I have is the 12 and the 2 p.m. and the 2 p.m. slot is full, and then the 2 p.m. 12 p.m. slot is I can't because I'm writing until 10 past 12. So I don't know if is it gonna be.
Just drop me an email. This is not like a general question. So rather drop me an email and then I can just look at it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if there's no other questions, I'll finish there. Again, you shouldn't have any problems if you go through the samples to get used to it and the previous exams or tests even. All right. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Sponiso, I think just go and read the announcements.
Siyekeleni phela. Siyekeleni.